Welcome back. This time we will be looking at the other question I couldn't get to in the previous video. So, team building. And yes, it can be very complicated, so I totally understand. So let's head on over to teams. Let's go to train players here. And there is, as I talked about in the previous video, there is a lot here. And as a beginner, it can be a bit daunting. And this time I will go in depth and kind of go through like what I've set, right, for each of my teams. But first of all, let's go to 5-player edit team. And so here, I'm just gonna do what I do when I'm building a team, and then hopefully it'll kind of come across like, okay, this is kind of what you would do. But let's start off here. And since I have Sai picked and he's my best technical unit, what I would do is I'd go over here on the bottom right where it says power. I would click on this, go to sort, and I would sort by technical, right? So now that I trained up, like once you train up players, what you do is you look at this stat, and for me right now, he's the highest technical. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that, and this is kind of how I would go about doing like my team. And over here, let's do speed. So speed, and you just go through each of the 5 different typings, right? Now, technically what you could do is you could always just pick the highest value, but let's say if these two were more close, so if this was like 280 and this was 270, since he is a flow player, he does get 1 extra flow skill. And so you could make the argument that if these are close enough, if any of your flow players are, close enough, you could put them instead. But for now, since they're almost 100p difference there, I'm just going to pick Nagi. And again, right here, this is actually a good one to go over. This would be my physical slot, quote unquote. Technically, it would be way better to put Raichi here. But since he's a 5-star, I'd like having him on the team, so I have him here. But for the sake of this, let me just put Raichi, because technically speaking, this is the better team. And we go on over here, we go to intelligence. And I do have my IQ selected. He's my strongest intelligence unit, so I'll go ahead and keep that. And then for kick power, we also do this. And he is my strongest kick power, but not by a lot. So I actually might swap him out for this Reen right here, since Reen is a 5-star, right? So he's got better stats overall. Let's go ahead and save that team. And now we'll do the positions. So we know Reen is kick power, so I'm going to keep him as forward. Aiku is intelligence, so we'll keep him as defender. Now Raichi, I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, we'll be right back. Where were we? We were on Raichi, right? Okay, so I'll go over here and I'll pick defender since he's a physical unit. And you can always, if you forget, like, okay, look, okay, this is the highest stat, so physical, let's go defense. And then for my Nagi, I'm going to keep him as midfield. If you want, you could put defender, depending on like what they have here as well, which is also a very good thing to check. Let me go over to my Reen, and sometimes it might not have anything, which is fine. Let's go over to Aiku. He's got defense compatibility here, and he's got defense compatibility here. So I know for sure he's really good for defense, because what this does is if you set him as a defender, he just basically just plays better when you're playing a match. So either way, you just want to set him as defender, and that only works for the 5x5 or the 5v5 game mode, or like anything that has 5-player teams. This like specific skill won't activate. If it's not a 5v5, it's like a 10v10, it won't activate. So that's another thing to keep in mind. These positions only really work here. Otherwise, you would just, for the 10v10, you would check here and you go like, okay, so he's left, side back, or center back. But let's go to Raichi. He also is in defense. And there's also other skills, like if you read into this when playing as a defender, again, a 5v5 skill, there are other skills like that. So even if you don't see specifically defense compatibility, right, you would still align certain people with certain roles. And in this case, Raichi stays defender. With Nagi, he does have a midfield compatibility here. And does this have anything? Nope. He is mainly like a passing unit, right? So you would check these skills too. You check the skills to see what they would kind of do, but for now I'm going to keep him as midfield. And then technical units, you would generally have midfield too, as shown by there. So that's kind of how I would build a team for 5v5. Let's go over to 10-player teams. Here, this is... It kind of takes some time, but let me just do a full new team. What you could do here is I would go over, I'm going to sort by power, and you scroll all the way down. You can see these are position aptitudes. So I'm going to click center forward since I clicked into center forward. and you'll see these. Is he a center forward? He is. So you'll see like all these units that kind of would be best for the role. If you see like even this Nagi down here will be a center forward. So these are all your best units. And I think if you don't have a specific unit that fits this role, you could still pick a random unit. So let me just show that. So let's say you don't have like a center forward. As you can see, you can still place him there. He just won't get any bonuses, and in fact, he'll have slightly less power, right? You can see those two red arrows. So he'll have slightly less power, but if you don't have anyone, it's still better to put someone there, right? Now, if you do have a person within that role, let me select, let's select this Reen. And 5 stars are a bit different because they do have an S ranking, right? For 4 stars, you would only really have A, but 5 stars do have that S ranking. But so for now, I'm just going to keep Reen there. And like just to show, right, he's got an A star, or A ranking here for my Shido. And again, this is just the default formation, but let me just roll with it. So let's go over here, and this time let's put left wing. So I do have... Yeah, he was a left wing, wasn't he? I do have Chigiri. Let me put Chigiri here. So that's nice. Right wing most likely will be Otoya. I'm gonna put Otoya. Actually, he could be a good right wing. Yep. You know what? I'm gonna keep him here. And OMF, offensive midfielder. Probably gonna be Reen, and I'll put Isagi as well. And then for the defensive midfielder, probably Karasu. And again, I only know this because I've been like experimenting. But you would just kind of pick and choose like different units to see which ones would kind of work best where. And specifically, I think what I would recommend actually, if you do have 5 stars, start with them since they do have the S ranking. So I know this Rayo right here is a 5 star, and you think he's center back. Yep, center back. Center back S rank, so I'm gonna go ahead and select him there. Let me see, what other center backs do I have? I think Aiku, right? So yep, let's go ahead and select him there. Right side back. And left side back. I'm just gonna click both just so I don't have to get out of the menu. I think this is just gonna be Hyori and Bachira, yeah. So he's the left side back and you're the right side back. Okay. Let me pick Hyori here and Bachira over here. So that's, again, this is kind of the basic formation. If, let's say, you have a team that is, I don't know, like you have 2 center forward units, right? You can go ahead and select this, and you'd have like a center forward, and then you don't have to worry about like a defensive midfielder if you don't have that, and you can use the extra center forward slot instead. So I would say if you're kind of low on units, just go to the formation and then click through these and see if you could probably fill out a better rotation to maximize your power. For me though, let's say, let's see this one real quick. Let me move this. You can also move characters on screen once you have them selected, which is nice. Bachira's here, and yeah, okay. So since this is a good team for me, I've basically got A rankings everywhere, which is what you want. And then for the 5 stars, you want the S rank. Oh yeah, I forgot Isagi's a 5 star too. You want to have the S ranks for the 5 stars, and then A rankings at least. And that's a pretty good team. Now, let's say you don't have... let me just pick this Isagi. Let's say you have... Okay, never mind. He does have an A rank. There were some B ranks. So let me reset this and scroll all the way down. If, let's say, you don't have units and you're kind of struggling, you could always put a B rank too. There's no problem with that. And then you can always upgrade once you get a better unit. So let's say I'm just going to put him here for now. B rank is still good. You're not getting the downgrade, right? You're not losing power from that. So a B rank is still pretty good. Don't worry too much about that. But you just kind of want to go for the A rank and above. Okay, so that's basically 5-player and 10-player edit teams. Now this player list, I mean, you probably know about this, but this just has all the units you've trained. And the way I do it, at least, is you have your top unit, and at most, you can only select 2 people in teams. More often than not, you can only really select 1, but I'll get to it in just a second. But essentially, if you have, let's say, 2 people, that's fine. I would kind of just sell everyone else And yeah, the reason why there's 3 Reens here is I haven't updated my teams in a while, but I'll just sell like everyone you're not using and like this Shido. But do be careful you're not selling your top units. In my opinion, what you should do is the minute you train them, just immediately add them to your teams. Okay, we'll be right back again. When you're training units, just make sure you add them right away to your teams. I've been a bit lackluster about it, which is not great practice, but yeah, the minute you train, especially a really good unit, just add them straight to your team so you can make use of them right away. And let's go to the league match 5-player team. So here, you only really need 2 teams, I think. Again, I don't really click into league matches, but from what I understood when I used to click into them is you need 2 teams mainly. I would just go about doing this in the same way, but like this first team at least, in the same way where you would pick the best units. Or if your 5-star is your best like unit in that slot, that's perfect. You should go ahead and use them. And then for the second team, I just get lazy and I just auto-edit, but not optimal, I know. But I'm just like, I just can't be bothered to make a second team. So that's kind of what you want to do for this league player 5-player match. You want to have 2 teams. For the 10-player, I do the same thing where you have 2 teams, but you just have 10-player. And again, for this one, you do kind of need like more units. For the second team, and actually in the previous one as well, right? You'll notice that I can't use, in this case, I can't use the same unit twice. So even though I have like the 5-star Rayo here and there is another Rayo, I can't use another version of this 5-star Rayo. So like let's say if I try to, you'll see player limit reached here and player limit reached here. So you can only set a maximum of 1 of those characters per team. So the league matches are one of those events that you're kind of limited to just 1 player. And you'll notice the same thing here. So here you need 10 here and 10 here, so 20 total. So this is going to be the most intensive for beginners, but again, don't worry too much about it. At least if you can get 1 team, that's still great. And for the Club Royale, for this one, I have, is this the auto team? Yeah, I think this is auto set and that's the main team. For Club Royale, what you want to do is basically set as many teams as you can. And the way I do it is, since some teams are automatically registered to defense, I just auto edit, or first of all, what I do is I go to team 5 and then I just pick my best units here. The same thing I told you before, like your best technical, right, best physical, etc., etc. And then what I would do is, actually, since I'm here, let me change it to you. Okay. And the club matches, Club Royale, they're one of the ones where you can put up to 2. So like you'll see the Reen here and you'll see another Reen here, right? So let me just auto edit, see if there's anyone that can be replaced. Nope. Anyone that can be replaced? Yep. Let's do that. And again, I'm just lazy. I can't be bothered to change all of these. So I just auto edit teams 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then what I just do is I use team 5 as the manual one. Now you can have fun with it, right? If you have like specific units, you can have like your best technical on this team, your best physical on this team, your best kick power on this team, and you kind of build around like that. So that's also a very valid strategy. Just know that if you are part of a club and you're in Club Royale, sometimes teams will auto-register to defense. So in this case, this might be set to like a defense, this might be set to a defense, this might be set to a defense. So you'll really, and this also might be set to a defense depending on your settings. So you really only have like team 5 to use an attack with. You can always deregister later, but let's say you want to start attacking right away. You do have to keep that in mind. Again, you'll understand when you play it once, but for Club Royale at least, just set as many teams as you can. The more teams you have, the better, basically. For Club Royale as well, advisor setup, I think I went over this before, but yeah, you just want to set your advisors. Any advisor you have, just put them in here, just slot them in here. Oh, I do have, no, he's probably better, so let me just go ahead and pick him instead. Yeah, I forgot to change him. But yeah, so just any advisor you have, select as much as you want. You can have up to 2 right now. So if you have like 3 advisors, just pick your best 2. For club match, the final one, I actually only have 2 teams set here. Yeah, for club match, I can show you this because it's active right now. I just auto edit my like highest power team here, and that will just be the defense team. And then I have my best overall like manually selected units here. Let me just put Reen here instead. Okay, that's fine. When you change your team, by the way, when a club match is going on, you will be switched to awful, and then you can't actually edit your team, right? So condition is too low, so I can't swap out this. So keep that in mind. There's like a bit of it. You just have to wait a bit until your condition is back to. I think it's at least good or best or something like that. Or maybe even bad as well. I think. So you can just wait a little bit. You can change your team again. So I would recommend if you are doing like club match, just if you're changing a team, change everything about the team and make sure it's finalized, then save it. Because if you accidentally like mess up, then you can't use that team or edit it. And I'll show you actually. So this team isn't awful. This team is good. Let me go to club match. And so you'll see, if you see the rankings, my first team is selected here and it's got a high power, and that's kind of a good deterrent. So that's why I just auto select my highest units. But this team would probably be beaten even by lower power teams just because it's all technical. But it's a good deterrent, right? So you just keep that there. And then let me go in and just do a battle against you. You'll see that I can't fight because my condition is too low. Whereas with this, I can't. So you just have to wait a little bit. You can come back, and then if you want to use this team, you can do that. But that should do it for the team building. Did I go over everything? I think so. And again, if you have more questions, please let me know. This is a bit confusing, and the best way you'll kind of get used to it is just by doing it. But that should do it for this video. Yeah, thanks for sticking around. I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.